Hi, I'm Jerry Matthews, and we're here today looking at some old plans for Sandy Ridge Golf Club in Midland. My dad did the original design of the first nine in 1963, and he added the second nine in, I think, 1965. So we have an older mid-60s golf course design here, which of course was much simpler than we do today. Number one, we didn't have the budgets to do very much. They were a more simplistic design. Although my dad designed really functional, basically sound golf courses, he didn't do all the work with all the mounding and move a lot of soil. He didn't create artificial fairways and hills and move a lot of soil because, number one, he didn't have the money. Number two, he didn't have the desire to do that. He looked at golf as being challenging but fair, but he wanted people to get around the golf course. In the 60s and 50s and the 70s, one of the major issues with public golf was to get golfers through the golf course. We wanted them to have fun, but we didn't want them to take all day to do it. It was a numbers game. So he kept them fairly simple, still sound, but when we built usually one tee, made it big enough for 3 sets of markers, did very little fairway grading unless it was a blind shot. We had to, he didn't like those, so we tried to eliminate those, although we couldn't always. And I think his trademark was greens. He liked to do greens that had character. We call it character. It's doing enough mound work and enough soil so that the green has a 3-dimensional appearance, and it gives you some mounds and valleys to do some contour mowing. All of his greens sloped from back to front, and if they were built correctly. But it was pretty simple back then, and he wasn't always around to see that they were built the way that he wanted them to. But all in all, they came out pretty sound, and Sandy Ridge is a really basically sound golf course. Obviously could use updating as we do today, but it doesn't need it other than maybe doing some more earthwork to get some more 3rd-dimensional appearance along the fairways. It's got some wooded sites, and it's got a lot of open holes, but it also has quite a bit of water for a course of that age. So all in all, I think it's a pretty decent layout, and I think it'll probably stand the test of time. It has so far.
And we are rolling.
Okay, we're looking at the plan for the second 9-hole edition. The first 9 was done in '63. The second 9 was added in 1965, but it's typical of what he did, and it shows, as you can see, that the holes are drawn in relatively plain, and that's because number one, he didn't do any mound work in the roughs, and he didn't do any fairway bunkers. He didn't care for them. He thought they slowed down play, and he just didn't do any. The greens show no bunkers because he did his green sketches separately, and the greens bunkers would be in there. And it shows a little bit of water on the east end down there, and of course you need to get soil to build up the greens or to build up tees, so you had to dig ponds somewhere, and the ponds are always a part of a golf course no matter what you do. But that's just the very basic concept of what we did back then.